Hi friends, welcome to Vcreation Technologies. Please do like and subscribe to our channel so that you will get latest notifications. And today in this video, we will talk about the introduction to Angular 10. And also, we will just discuss about what are the prerequisites needed for the Angular, as well as at the last, we will just discuss about what are the advantages as well as the disadvantages of the Angular 10. So let's get started. So now we are in the introduction to Angular 10. So Angular is basically an open source JavaScript based client-side framework that help us to develop a web-based applications. And this is a framework, not a JavaScript library, or we can say that JavaScript. So this is basically a framework, and basically the Angular is used for developing the single page applications, and its performance is very high. And Angular is one of the best framework for developing any single page applications, or we can say SPA applications. Now Angular is a structural framework for developing the web-based applications, and also it supported the client-side templating features, and it also provides us a facility to perform the unit test so that our code can be tested before deployment. And in my upcoming video we will just discuss about how to do the unit test and how we will use some of the third-party unit test framework for our testing purposes. And also it follows the TypeScript, and it was developed by Google. But now the current version of Angular is Angular 10, and which was released on January 25, 2020. So this is the latest version of Angular 10, and before that there were like so many versions. So first of all there was Angular 1, or we can say that Angular JS was started, and after few months it was not that much of popular. So again Google modified to the Angular 2 versions, which follows the TypeScript concept, and it follows the object oriented programming concept. And after that there were so many versions like 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, etc. But now right now the latest version of Angular is Angular 10. And if you just want to know what are the new features of Angular 10, then in the description of the video I will just post a link so that you will just know what are the new features which was released on June 25, 2020. Now the next topic is the prerequisites needed for the Angular. The prerequisite needed for the Angular is the TypeScript. So if you don't know about the TypeScript, then don't worry, I will also explain in this video like few of the concepts, as well as in the description of this video I will just post some of the links so that you can get familiar about the TypeScript. Now the next thing is what are the advantages of the Angular. The first advantage is Angular modifies the page DOM directly instead of adding the inner HTML code, and due to that reason it is much more faster. And also extended features such as the dependency injections, routing, animations, view encapsulations, and many more are available. And also the dependency injections and some of the other features are already predefined available, and it is almost supported by most of the IDEs like Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code, and also we can use some of the other IDEs also, but maximum of the developers are using Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code. Now the next advantage is the Angular is a comprehensive solutions for rapid front-end developments. Means basically it is used for the single page applications, and it does not need any kind of plugins or other frameworks. And also the Angular is unit testing ready, and that is one of the most advantages of the Angular. Now let's come to the disadvantages of the Angular. The first disadvantage is the frequent change. Angular is the frequent changed versions, because every 6 months Angular is giving some of the new versions, and many of the developers having complained that when they are migrating to some of the newer versions, at the same time Angular is releasing some of the newer versions. So that may create some of the problem while upgrading the project to the new versions. And the next disadvantage is the lacking of CLI documentations. So the CLI documentations is not very much clear and popular, and the last disadvantage is the dynamic application didn't always perform that much well. So the complex single page applications could be laggy and inconvenient to use due to their size. And in my upcoming videos I will not only just demonstrate and explain with you example about Angular 10, as well as explain you about some of the old features of Angular 9, Angular 8, etc. I will explain in detail about all the concepts with the example, also like CRUD operations and everything I will just discuss in my upcoming videos. So this is all about today's video, and here we just discussed about introduction to Angular 10, also what are the prerequisites needed for Angular 10. Also I discussed about what are the advantages and disadvantages of Angular 10. So that's it for today's video. Stay tuned for my next video. Till then, bye bye. Thank you.